So I'm recording today at the great Sobeys location on Connell Road in Woodstock. Got some great staff, got some great groceries and sundries and all the different things to buy. But today we're not talking about groceries. Actually, we're talking about the 2026 municipal election and a very important story that ran on the CBC New Brunswick news site on May 3rd. And this involves me. Names in a running, Governor, the Coach, and Smoothy all have municipal ambitions. New Brunswick has looser rules than other provinces when it comes to eye-catching candidate nicknames. Now, our good friend of the channel, Sam Farley of CBC News, contacted me a few weeks ago and did an interview about why he was running with a nickname. And we're going to talk about this farther on in the article. When do Brunswickers vote in municipal elections this month? You might see some rather informal names on the ballots. And you go beyond a fictional Stephen using Steve or Christopher going by Chris. We have a patty, and there's also potatoes en français. We have a governor, and then there's the coach and a smoothie. And of course, I'm the governor. Paul Harpel, a longtime spokesperson for Election New Brunswick and a former media reporter, said he has cited examples from the May 11 ballots. Ballot names are allowed to be more eye-catching in New Brunswick, which has less strict rules about the practice than some other provinces. Arbel said current rules for both provincial and municipal elections don't allow honorific titles to be used as part of someone's official ballot name, but nicknames are aplenty. Michael Plud, who's running for a council seat in Evanston, said the nickname comes from his childhood. When he was about 12 or 13 years old, there was a show on French TV called Hippocrates, Plud said, and then there was a character by the name of Bublé, who thought looked somewhat like me. One day, an Anglophone student tried to say that Plord looked like the character, but pronounced it as Boblé or Bublé, he said. And the whole class started laughing, and he started calling me that, and was following me everywhere, he said. It's celebrities like Sheriff Madonna go by nicknames, Plord says. You should be able to use on his ballot. Now, some people just call me Rob. I have a nickname to my nickname, Plord said with a laugh. If the name fits, embrace it. Now, Clint, the coach at Kingsbury, is running for council in the Frankton suburb of New Maryland, and his nickname comes from when he started working as a wrestling coach. Now, he said, just like in any practice facility, the athletes say, coach, 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 all this type of thing. Kingsbury said, I think that the nickname has followed him into his real estate career too. It helps because sometimes you just don't remember the name. Some people are terrible at names, and you might remember a nickname or something that you've heard, whether it's positive or negative. Now, for myself and Lakeland Ridges, JJ Governor Corey, who was a newspaper reporter for more than 40 years, is running for a council position. He said, Governor comes from a 1944 Western movie, Blazing Saddles, because Corey would recite lines from the movie while playing in the Rescuers Baseball League when he was younger, when the games got tough to humor his teammates. The governor moniker followed him through his journalism career on the North Shore, and it was even once used by the then Prime Minister Jean Chrétien at a campaign stop in Beldoun, he said. I got too close for a photo, and Cecil took me out of the building, almost arrested me for being too close to the Prime Minister, Corrier said. And allegedly the Prime Minister said, what happened? That journalist, the governor, why did you take him away? But the RCP from Campbellton, who gave me permission to be there, says, do the interview, said, leave the governor alone. Now, Corey says it's an honor to have a popular nickname because the people that like you enough to say that's somebody we respect. Now, Martin Hardy quit at Bearmachie, joked that nobody in a million years will know that who Martin Quinn was. He always gone by a version of his middle name, Patrick. Middle name, Patrick. Now, I'm at the doctor's office or the dentist's office, they'll be saying Martin, Martin, Martin. I'll be yakking away with someone, and finally they say, I think they're talking to you here. I'm like, oh, yeah, right. I am Martin. I don't know if it's a memory thing or a New Brunswick thing, maybe an East Coast thing here, but we're all like to hang a nickname on someone and run with it. Most other provinces do allow nicknames on ballots, but several have a strict process about it. In Alberta, provincial elections, the Chief Electoral Officer may disallow the use of a nickname that is not someone's legal name in the interest of having regard to integrity of the election, according to spokesperson for Elections Alberta. This is likely referring to a name that is a joke, offensive, or intended to mislead or confuse electors. The spokesperson wrote an email but added that no one in the office could ever remember this rule ever being used. Elections Nova Scotia has a candidate name appearance policy, which states that candidates must show proof when requesting to use a name besides their legal name on a ballot. Types of proof that candidates can submit include news articles, debit cards, professional or political social media pages, bills or financial statements, or diplomas. In Quebec, nicknames are allowed, provided they're consistently and well-known in political, professional, and social life, and are acting in good faith. When asked how the good faith measure is determined, Saint Anneau Dole of the Elections Quebec wrote that candidates must swear an oath and fill out a form when filling out paperwork to run. Back in Fredericton, Harpel, with Elections New Brunswick, said any changes to rules would have to be made by the province. I'm quite certain that if any names did set off any alarms, he'd know the staff here would do the due diligence. It could be challenging to determine if a nickname is truly legitimately used by a candidate in the community, he said. So I don't know if we're being looked at the concept of having someone sign an attestation saying that's truly their nickname. Well, let's put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I have 3 nicknames. Double J, Jeffrey Joseph, and the Man for the Tribune and the Man for the Bugle. And I've also been called the Governor of Gravel Hill. That's my home community in North Shore. But no matter if you have a nickname or not, and this comes to a part, all the people who are running for council and mayoral races in the province are doing so because we want you, the public, to vote. Now, if you do vote, just remember you'll have our appreciation and our undying love, because it's good to be involved in the political process. In Lakeland Ridges, we're 5 candidates running for 2 seats, and we're electing 8 in all Lakeland Ridges and determining 2 from 2 mayoral candidates. So all my friends in the North Shore, all my friends in Carleton County, so says the governor, I'm glad that you're following my campaign. I'll have a lot of good response through being on the hustings the last few days. But you got to understand the idea about politics on a municipal level as well. You have to be known to the public and be liked by the public. You can't just go in there and say, well, I'm going to win. You got to build up a following that's going to understand what you're trying to do is honest and sincere. And my background running the Shore LSD for 2 years in the early 2000s on the North Shore gives me the experience to know that you can do anything with a great group of people. And have political parties stay out of municipal elections. Let's not have, federal or provincial led organizations putting pressure or funding on the municipal candidates. So that's the latest on the hustings in New Brunswick. May 11th is the vote. Please vote wherever you are, and thanks for listening. If you like what you're doing here with our political podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, and share.